So I have another 944 here, a new 944. This is an 86 turbo garnet red. It's a one owner car, and big thanks to Steve, one of my YouTube fans, who contacted me about this car. He bought it new in 86. I'll show you, it's not exactly together right now, but he wanted me to have it. So here it is. Thank you, Steve. Unfortunately, you can see on the front of the car a jacked up pickup truck backed into it. You can see where the trailer hitch dragged along the hood and creased the hood. It crumpled the headlight covers with the bumper, and you can see it also put a dent in the header panel above the hood emblem there. But other than that, the body is pretty straight. It looks pretty decent. It's got the 16-inch Fuchs wheels. The lenses are intact. I'm actually impressed. The fog light lenses are not chipped. That's somewhat common. This car has the headlight washers, which I don't see. I haven't seen a lot of 86s with that, so that's kind of a unique option. The car's in pretty good shape. You can see the clear coat is peeling on the paint, especially on the sunroof panel, and you can see like some little, kind of marks where the clear coat is peeling up on the roof and on the hood as well. But ultimately, those things can be fixed. No side molding on this car, and Steve said that's the way it came, so that's pretty neat too. I'll show you the inside. It's a burgundy leather interior, which for the mileage and the age, the seats are in fantastic condition. Steve said he was pretty religious with the Lexol, and it shows. It's really nice. The door panels are in good shape. The surrounds around the latches are a little faded. The dashboard does have some cracks being out in the sun, but that's to be expected. And the steering wheel itself is somewhat worn and faded, not quite the same color. And the horn button, he must have used the horn a lot. And the shift boot is also in rough shape. But it has the original Blaupunkt radio in it. And let's see if we can see the mileage here. It looks like 163,000 miles, so pretty high miles. It was a well-loved, well-used car. Back seats look like they've probably never been sat in. Inside the back hatch, the carpet's in pretty good shape. Not quite as faded as I would have expected either for the age, seeing some of the, like the condition of the dash. I would have thought it would have been in the sun more. Here's the condition under the hood. I'd say it's in a state of partial disassembly. The headers have been removed in the crossover pipe. Apparently a header cracked or broke, and I think that was the initial reason for the disassembly. It looks like the timing marks are lined up, and I am told there's a flywheel lock on it. So, there should not be any valve damage or piston damage or anything like that. It does look like a lot of the openings are pretty well capped, either with bags and rubber bands or rags, things like that stuffed in places. So hopefully there's no, critter or mouse damage or anything like that. So it looks like it's gonna, it should be repairable. I have lots of boxes of parts that came with the car, so I should have everything to put it back together. It's just a matter of finding the time and cleaning it up and doing it. But it should be pretty. It should be a fun project, maybe a winter project. Maybe I can get one of my sons to help me, or do it at some point. See if we can get it running again. Some things to point out. I've done a lot of videos on normally aspirated cars, and it's not that often that I'm working on a turbo with the intake manifold off, but you can see the turbocharger, right here in the middle of the frame, and you can see that little hose going to the top of it. That's the oil, the lubrication feed, which actually is coming off of the balance shaft cover. So it gets its oil from the balance shaft cover, goes through the turbocharger, and then it actually returns through the engine mount and back into the oil pan. And that's pretty clever. So you can see the down pipe here, and so that goes to your exhaust, and then there's kind of a pipe underneath. See where that rag is stuffed into the side? So that's where the crossover pipe goes in. So, you know, of course the exhaust comes out of the exhaust ports on one side of the engine bay and goes into the turbocharger on the other side of the engine bay, which from a packaging perspective, you know, there weren't many other options for Porsche at the time, but that does create a fair amount of turbo lag because, of course, the exhaust gas has to go all the way through that whole run to spool up the turbo, and then, of course, the length from the turbocharger through the intercooler, which is in the front, back to the throttle body, and then through the intake manifold is another long run. So those long runs really contribute to some of the turbo lag of these cars, which also actually made them very fun, because you would step on the gas, you would have a pause, and then you would have a big kick in the pants of this excellent rocketing power, this excellent boost. So, you know, the lag created some of the fun, but, you know, probably didn't help the 0 to 60 in some of the performance numbers. Along with boxes of spare parts, one of the boxes has a bunch of the original literature, the original owner's manuals, a little kind of leather-bound notepad with a pen that actually says Porsche on the side, the Turbo Workshop Supplement, and also this interesting 944 Turbo Information Technic book, which I've never seen one of those, and I was thumbing through, and it's got a lot of neat information. I might actually do a video on some of that information by itself. A lot of gems in there. It's got a spare set of the rock guards, and it has original Porsche branded window cleaner. So, and there's still some left. So, official Porsche soapy water. How cool is that? That's like a real find. I'm thrilled. And so here's the car from the other side. Again, thank you, Steve. It will be a very fun project.